Hello and welcome to Drawing Together with me. We did this experiment a few months ago or even longer ago where I made some tangles with my fountain pen, my glass fountain pen. I really love this one. And I smushed everything, and that's why I have a spot right here. Anyway, we're going to try to use the fountain pen again today, and I'm going to use this Sugar Snap shimmer, what you call that, ink. This is a green one for this one, and of course we are using the tangles from the last page that we did in the book. So first of all, we are going to appreciate the materials we have. I'm having a real Zentangle tile here, and you could sit with a piece of paper, or maybe you also have a Zentangle tiles in front of you, but you can do this on whatever tile you have. Just we like to have these 3.5 by 3.5 tiles, inch tiles, 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch tile, because it's fairly quick to do. Anyway, let's just relax in the shoulders and the fingers, the wrist, and get to enjoy this tangling together. I am going to start with making the dots in the corners, following my 8 steps process, and then I am going to make this into a border like that, and then we can make some kind of string here. We can do it in all kinds of ways, but I'm gonna do it like that. And now I am going to open my ink really carefully. There we go. And I am going to place this on the table here next to me so I don't knock it over by accident. Let's see. I want to do this pattern right here, and I was thinking of doing it up along this one and making it kind of a border. So let's try it. Dipping the ink pen into the ink, and here we're going to start with kind of a wavy line. I'm not going to turn this tile too much, as I don't want to smear the ink like we did last time we were working with my ink pen here. So that's the first part. Now we are going to make the leaves on this string here. And this is perfect in this green color. So I'm starting from the bottom, going up the line and kind of making this thin leaves. And I'm going under the string here. Actually, I should go over, because now I have a place here where I can't have a leaf. We will see what we do when we get there. So just going to keep making these leaves all the way around here. Let me turn my tile. I am thinking that I could kind of make sure that I have a leaf going here. And then I can continue this line there. So now I just have to make sure that the leaves are going to fit the space here. Normally I place my hand in the middle of everything, but I cannot do that with the ink here, so I'm just very careful where I place my hand. And I try to concentrate about the pattern that I'm doing at the same time where I'm concentrating about not touching my paper. I kind of see a tiny bit of shimmer here in this line here, so it might work. I think last time I tried out these shimmer inks, I didn't see the shimmer at all. Oh, that's perfect. Fits exactly like I want it to. Dipping my ink pen when I feel like it's dying out on me. And one last leaf here at the top. There we go. So now we are going back to the start down here. I dip my ink pen and we are going to make these call them spikes or fescues. And they are shifting so they go from one side to the other side. And here I see I get a lot of ink because of the little dot I'm popping in here at the end, so I am really making sure that I'm not dipping my hand into any of the ink here. Dip my ink pen. To the other side. Back to this side. Here. I think when we get the shading on here, it will be easier to see that this leaf here is going under the other ones. So we will just relax about that and wait and see. I think I'm gonna do this one as the last one. There we go. I am going to leave the ink to dry for a second before I continue. So I will just take a small break and then I will be back. See you in a second. So it has been drying for a bit and I decided to go and use this Marianne Bright shimmer green instead now, just to shift things a little up. This one should be lighter than the other one, and I just roughly dried off my ink pen. So let us take the lid of this one and continue on the tile. I am gonna go I think, to do stuff on this side. So let's dip the ink pen into the ink. And I'm thinking of making kind of an aura here between this pattern we just did and the next one. I like the way that the ink pen is sliding over the paper, and the ink is going down really pretty here. And this is just a cheap glass ink pen from AliExpress, if you want to try it out. And the inks I'm using is from a advents calendar from penstore that I got from my husband. You can get these bottles in big, but there's so much ink in there, so this tinier ink bottle is perfect for me. Let's make, let's see, this pattern right here. Let me move that. I'm thinking of making my lines, so this one is my bottom line of my squares, of my grid. And I'm trying to make consistent lines, so it's around a finger's width here. Like that. Dip my ink pen. So there should be shimmer in this one. Actually, I see it here and there. But I'm thinking that we need to kind of shake up the bottle here and there, because it's like the shimmer is really quickly falling to the bottom of the jar. There we go. Let's swirl the ink a tiny bit to see if I can get a little of the glitter with here. So for this one, we are making these X's here in the places where the boxes are connecting. I found this the easiest way to do this pattern, but you could take a box at the time if you want that instead. Dip again. I think we need that little line over there, and I think that's good. And then we are going to make this little bulb here on the end of each of these, and that's a lot of ink, so be careful. It will go down into the paper. This paper really neat, or this paper, it really takes the ink really neat. That was what I wanted to say. And I like that. So you can see it's starting to dry in the first ones we did here. And it's looking really nice. It's not running or anything on the paper, so that's really, really cool. And I'm just taking my time with this, remembering to breathe, relaxing my hand, and just enjoying the process of putting the ink on the paper. Even if you're just doing this with a fine liner, it will be perfect anyway. And you can do this in just only black, or maybe blue or red, whatever color you like. And you can even do it in more different colors than I do if you want to. But I will leave that all up to you. So I got my center here very small, but we are going to place this little triangular shape in between these dots here. Or not triangular shape, diamond shapes here. I should have left a little more space in between each of these, but oh well. I'll work with what I got. And it is a fine line that this ink here is doing, so it's not that bad to make something really small with it. Let's dip again. And I like this green here next to the other green. There we go. And then down here we are going to make kind of a circle around where these are coming in. Like that. This is really a nice pattern. I really like it. It's easy and it looks very extraordinary, I think. It's very, very nice pattern. And this corner and up here. There we go. And I am actually gonna do the same over here. So let me dip my ink pen again, making sure I'm not popping my fingers into anything here. And then starting with the aura. Just taking my time with this. Dipping in the ink when I need it. There we go. Let's do a little swirly swirl again to see if I can get some of the glitter up in the ink. And then I am again going to make my grid lines. Let's see if I can do it without hitting anything that's not dry yet. Again, I'm starting here at the border edge and around the finger wide here. I don't have as much space on this side as I had on the other side, but it's all fine. Making my line down here. A bit wonky, but it's okay. And now make this into a squared grid. Right here. And if you don't want to watch this, you can always skip ahead. But I'm gonna do the exact same thing here as we did on the other side. So first I'm going to make my crosses over the edges here of the boxes. Dipping whenever I need it. Like that. And then we're going to put the dots in there. And you can always look up the patterns on tanglepatterns.com if you don't understand what I'm doing. Maybe the step out is easier for you to understand, so please do look them up. That's why I tell you which pattern I am working on, so you can find it in there if you need it. Don't grip too hard on your glass pen. You might break it. And you don't need to grip that hard to control it and to work with it. I actually see the glitter on this one over here. I like that. Now for the little center thing. Some of them are getting bigger than others, and that's all fine. And then the dot here, or the circle around these corners here. Again, I'm just taking my time with this, one step at a time. And really I'm going slowly here compared with what I normally do, as I really don't want to place my finger into the ink. There we go. I think that's it. Let me pop the lid on here. And I'm going to take a small break again to let this dry a tiny bit more before I continue. This is the way I'm just slightly drying this off before I continue with another color, or maybe the same color, I don't know yet. I might take another color here, that could be fun. I was thinking about a yellow or something. Anyway, let's leave this to dry and then I will be back. So I am back and I am thinking of using this one. This is Bugs Figgy, and this is a chameleon ink. And I'm thinking of trying this one out and see what's happening. And I want to do this pattern right here. So let's see what's gonna happen here. And I'm gonna pop that into the middle here. Oh, well, I'm going to try to. So let's see. I should make a border here as well, just like we did on the other side, just because we can. I think there was a bit of green still left here on this one, on my pin. I don't think that is not a problem here, I think, with the tiny bit of green. I'm not really sure how to pop in this pattern, but let's try it out. So it is starting with these teardrop shapes, going all the way around the outside border. And they kind of fit in everywhere, so I think it's perfect. I'm just trying to make them fit here and around the border. And then we're going to make all these orbs on the inside here. In between all these teardrop shapes. And I can see I don't have the possibility to do them as small as I normally like to do. But that's fine. Sometimes it's good to draw a bit bigger than we used to. And again, I'm really careful not smudging the ink at all. It is kind of fun that this is looking more like a red when you look at the ink here, but it is orange on the paper. But I think it's okay. Still fits very nicely with the green. Oops. Oh well, I think it turned out pretty neat. I was expecting something way worse, so I think that's actually okay. So down here I'm going to use this pattern right there. So let's start with adding a border around this pattern right here again, just like we did everywhere else. And I have a few string lines that I will have to erase when this is all dry. But for now it's all fine. There we go. So let's start this pattern here. I'm not really that good at this one, but we're gonna do it. 3. Turn it around and do the same. 1, 2, 3. As there is not much room here, I am going to be really careful. With how I place the pattern. So here I need to go with the ones that is lying down, and the same over here. Dip. And then 1, 2, 3. And there should be a lying one there. There's 3 upstanding, and then we have lying ones here, and so on. And dip. And let's start with the one on this side. So everywhere where I have these, I am going in with these lying ones. So that would be here as well. And then back with the one standing up. And lying down, and then this would be standing up. There we go. So that's it. Yay! We got everything all filled in here. I am going to place my chop while I have ink on my ink pen here. That is kind of turning into a blob, but I am going to leave this to dry for a few hours before I will continue, because I want this to be 100% dry before I continue with it. So I will see you in a second here, but in a few hours in real life. So this has been drying a few hours, and it is time to make some shading on this little tile here. I think it turned out really neat now, where I didn't smudge it at all. So I need to have a little more patience when I'm working with the ink pen. Anyway, I am starting here where this little leaf here is going underneath the other leaves. So I'm just gonna pop in some shading here around this. Like that. But I will start down here at this chain and just pop in a tiny bit of graphite here at the ends of the leaves, using my Tortillion for softening out the shading here. I'm not going all the way on top till the end of the leaf, because I want to have the white in there, otherwise the shading is disappearing and you are all gray instead. I'm just doing a few of them at the time. Again, softening out the graphite, and I'm going with circle motions, because then you don't have streaks in your shading. So let me do that again. I'm gonna do this all the way around. Bring it down so you can see what I'm doing. Softening out all my shadings here. I like that. I'm thinking of kind of pillaring out the other places here, so I'm just gonna follow the line around right here. Just putting down a nice amount of my graphite. If you want to shade yours differently, then do. You can do it in so many ways. I am not gonna go on these two sides. I know we normally do that by pillowing out, but I just want this piece to look as it's underneath the leaf chain here. I forgot the name of it. So I'm just softening out my graphite here. Making it into a nice shadow. There we go. I like that. And I'm gonna do the same over here. So I am just putting down some graphite here along this aura line that we have right here. There we go. Taking my Tortillion and then soften that out. Ooh, I really like this. I think it's really, really neat. I am gonna do the same here on the last two patterns. Just gonna follow the aura line here around the leaves ribbon. That's not what it's called, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. Remember to breathe. Relax your shoulders, your hands, and the grip around your pencil. Loosen that up a tiny bit. I'm pretty sure you won't drop the pencil anyway, so just relax a tiny bit. Taking your Tortillion and then soften out the graphite. This reminds me a bit of a shark or a dolphin or something. That's the shape of it. Yeah, I like that. And then the last one down here, again, popping in some graphite here around the aura. There we go, using my Tortillion and softening out the graphite here. There we go. Whoops. I actually think this turned out really neat. I'm thinking of using a bit of white charcoal, but I'm not sure because the glitter in the green here is really nice, but I am thinking of taking my white charcoal and then just go over here and then lightly with my Tortillion soften that out to make it kind of lighter. In the color, kind of pushing it back somehow. Like that. I think that turned out really neat. So yeah, I think the last step we need to do right now is just to be grateful for the work that we've done and admire the little tile, looking at it if there is something else we'd like to do on it, or we're just happy as it is. I actually think this turned out really neat. So yeah, I don't have any more for you. That's a tile for today. I know these tiles are simple. I'm not doing a lot of techniques in one tile, but I like to take the tangles from the past page that we do, and I like to make it easy to do and really working after the principles in the Zentangle method that I'm teaching. And there is a lot of tiles out there that is really, really beautiful on the internet, on the YouTube, where you can see how they do these intricate beautiful patterns and colors and stuff like that. I just love to show you that you can make something beautiful with a few patterns and an easy string and just relaxing and enjoying. And that's all that is the main goal of the Zentangles, is to relax and just have a great time, and then the outcome is the outcome. It's not really depending on the outcome, but I do think this one turned out really, really neat. So this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this little tangle session with me. I had a lot of fun with this, so I'm happy that we could make this without smearing it. Anyway, that's all for today, so thank you for watching. Have an attitude of gratitude.